Hello, welcome to Medicine for the Soul Yoga. My name is Kat, and this is part 14 of our 30 Days to Crow Challenge. So we're nearly halfway through now, and we're going to explore a different variation of crow pose and start to play around with side crow. So this is a good point that you could kind of reevaluate where you are at along this journey. If you're still really wanting to get to grips with normal crow, you might want to revisit some of the classes, and you could perhaps start from the beginning and work them through again. If you want to try something new, or if you've perhaps got crow pose now, then feel free to start now here with us on side crow. So it uses some slightly different muscles, and today we will be needing a cushion or a folded blanket. So the next 5 classes will be dedicated to side crow. So let's get going. So for today's class, we're going to need a cushion, quite a shallow cushion, or a folded up blanket, nothing too squidgy, and just having that to our side. And we're going to start seated today. So we're going to really activate the obliques, the side core, to begin with, because these muscles are going to be engaged to hold us in our side crow. The arms are very much the same strength with the shoulders and arm positioning, but we're now engaging the side core as well. So coming to a seated position, we'll draw the palms facing up on the lap. Fingers are spread here. We really want this feeling of energy and aliveness through the hands. Drawing the chin down to the chest. We can close down the eyes and, as always, take a moment to bring our awareness to the breath. Noticing where it's landing in the body. We really want the breath to be traveling right down into the tummy. Big, deep breath through the nose. Are there any areas that you could soften here, maybe in the shoulders, in the face? Perhaps very slightly leaning back as well. So we've got a really straight spine from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. We're going to very slightly draw the elbows in together, keeping the hands really engaged. And we feel the chest open, and we draw the shoulder blades down the back. So the hands are really active right now. Keeping the breath the same, we're going to draw the chin all the way down to the chest. And we feel this really big release across the back of the neck. We're going to roll the forehead over to the right. Big inhale here. Exhale, draw the forehead back to center. Inhale, rolling the forehead to the left. Big inhale here. And then exhale back to center, really good. We're going to keep the hands activated, but this time we're going to bring the hands behind the head and interlace the fingers, resting the hands on the back of the head. Keep the spine straight, and we'll let the elbows gently fall in together into the center. Gently wiggle side to side here. Big deep breath through the nose. Good. Keeping the chin down, we're going to place the hands over the knees and lean back on the knees. Let the knees lift up. So we're really leaning back. As we inhale, we're going to lift the chin up and draw the chest through, push the shoulders back. Big inhale here. Exhale, we'll round. So feel that rolling onto the tailbone, leaning back. Inhale, arching. Back to neutral spine, opening the eyes if they were closed. Little wiggle of the shoulders, good. Inhale, we'll sweep the hands up. As we exhale, we're going to draw the right hand down and bend over to the right. Look underneath the left arm. Keep the fingers really alive and active here. Gently drawing further and further down as we keep the left knee pushing down as well. Inhale, we're going to activate the core. So without using the right hand too much, we're going to squeeze the belly button into the spine and activate the core and lift ourselves up without the right hand really doing much of the work. Big inhale here, and exhale, we'll gently come to the left and draw the right hand over. Keep the right knee pushing down. Big deep breaths through the nose. Good. Again, we're going to squeeze the belly button into the spine, and without using too much weight on this left hand, squeezing ourselves back up to center. Good. We're going to keep the arms as they are, and we're just going to bend to the right again. And notice how we're really having to engage the core here. Squeeze the belly button in. Inhale, lifting up, find length. And exhale, gently bending to the left. Keep the right knee pushing down. Inhale, lifting up, find length. We're going to twist. Exhale to the right and bring the arms to cactus. So again, without the support of the arms, we're really having to use our core here to keep us stable. Just check that we're not leaning back as well. So we want to keep the spine really straight, shoulders rolling back and down. And we want to imagine that we're pushing that right elbow backwards. So we're spinning around, looking behind us. Squeeze the belly button into the spine, but don't forget to breathe. Inhale, we'll look forward and reach the hands above the head. Find length, and exhale again, cactus arms, but we twist to the left. Imagine like the spine is like a towel that we're kind of wringing out. So we're keeping really straight with the spine, using the core to help twist us around. Big inhale here. Exhale, maybe we can twist it a little bit more. Good. Inhale, reaching back up. Perfect. Exhale, we'll bring the hands behind the body, interlacing the fingers, and draw the hands away. So we're straightening the arms. Big inhale here. And exhale, hinging from the hips. Release the head and the neck. And as much as you can, lifting the hands up. So this will depend on how far we can get the forehead down. If you can reach the forehead all the way down, then you can really let the hands go over the head. Wherever you are, a few deep breaths here. Gentle movement side to side can feel nice as well to loosen up the area. Big deep breaths through the nose. Good, and then we'll gently round ourselves up, and big roll of the shoulders, really good. So we're going to use the cushion now. We're going to sit on the cushion, placing it underneath the tailbone. And we're going to have the feet bent, hip width apart, just in front of us. So leaning back slightly so we're on the tailbone, engaging the core. We're going to bring the hands out wide. We're then going to bring the palms facing forward and bring the twist to the right. So we're going to squeeze the core in, similar to what we did before, and bring the left elbow onto the edge of the right knee. We're going to push the palms away and lift the chest. So we're really engaging the core here. Pushing away on that left elbow. And then inhale, find length, back up to center. Exhale, we're really using the core and the hip flexors here. We're going to twist to the right. Right elbow hooks to the outside of the left knee. And if you can, pushing against that right elbow to find a twist. Squeezing in the core to keep the spine straight. Big deep breaths through the nose. Good. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, we'll place the arms around the shins, hold onto one of the wrists. Just gently leaning back, draw the chin down to the chest. You can gently rock the forehead side to side. Big deep breath through the nose. And then we can slowly lift the chin. Good, we're going to do this again. This time walk the feet slightly closer and maybe a little bit closer together as well. So slightly closer to the body, a bit closer together. Inhale again, lifting the hands up. So we want the shoulders to be drawing down. Squeezing the core in. Again, we're going to twist to the right. Left elbow can come onto the outside of the right knee. Option to stay here, or option to lift the feet off the mat. Keep the shoulders drawing down so you can really feel the core and the hips working here. Keep breathing through the nose. Gently bring the feet down, inhale, reach the hands up. And then exhale, palms facing forward, twist to the left, right elbow onto the outside of left knee, maybe slightly leaning back and lifting the toes. Good. So this is seated side crow variation, and it's a really great way to build up these side muscles that we need for our side crow. Gently coming back to center, really good. We can cross the legs, remove the cushion or the blanket, and come into tabletop. Good, we'll just lift up the feet and let the feet sway side to side. Big deep breath through the nose. As the feet come to one side, we'll look over that shoulder, find a lovely stretch for the side body. Back to center and over to the other side. Really looking over the shoulder. Good, inhale back to center. Bring the knees apart. We'll find a little rest in our wide leg child's pose. Really let the knees come wide here, so we're stretching out the hip flexors, and we can melt the chest down if comfortable, and coming into our full wide leg child's pose. Big deep breath through the nose here. Sinking the hips back towards the heels. Good, and we'll gently lift the chest up and slide the hands back to lift the chest, and gently bring one knee and then the other. Perfect. Roll the shoulders here. So I'm just going to show you the alignment for side crow. We can have a little play with it today, but we mainly want to be focusing on the seated side crow and kind of beginning to think about the obliques. In our next class, we'll come more into the positioning of side crow. But I'll just show you for now. So, just so you have an idea of what it is that we're practicing, feel free just to sit and watch this part. Have the feet together, slightly apart, bending the knees, lifting the heels up. So it's the same arms as crow, but they're moved to the side. So we move the arms to one side, let the knees slightly twist to the other side. And instead of the knees resting on the shelf of the arms, the right knee, if we're twisting to the right, and the right hip rest on the top of the arms. It won't be as high up, it will be more lower down, so just above the elbows. So we move the hands to the side, the fingers are really spread. We make the same shelf with the arms, but this time the outside edge of the right knee is just above the elbow joint, and the right hip will come to just above the right elbow joint. So we do chaturanga arms, where we draw the elbows in and back. We do not let the elbows come out to the side. The elbows draw backwards as we bend the arms, and we begin to lift the chest, lift the hips. So it's all very similar cueing, but different positioning. So I've got the right hip now on the right elbow, and then we begin to bring more of our weight into our hands, less onto the feet, and we lift the feet up. So this is what side crow looks like. And actually it's not any harder than normal crow. And some say it's easier because you've got a bit of a better shelf made with this right leg, rather than having to use the hips as strength to hold each individual leg up. You're kind of resting on a bit of a shelf with the leg already there, so you might find it easier. That's the alignment for now. So we'll just come back to our tabletop. Exhale, round the back, and inhale, arch. Good, come back to neutral spine. So we're going to bring the right leg out long and have the short foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Left foot can come slightly to the left as we come into our supported side plank. So this is a really great one to activate the obliques. So in our next class, we'll be coming into side crow, but we'll be using the wall. So this week, we're just going to be focusing on the obliques. So lifting up the right foot. Really pushing out of this left shoulder, finding height. Breathing deeply here. We're going to tap the right toes down and then squeeze and lift them up. Good, exhale down. Use the top of the left foot to help with your balance. Inhale, squeeze up. One more time, exhale down. Inhale, squeeze up. Good. Option to stay here, or option to bring the right foot down, bring the left foot through, so we're on the blade edge of that left foot. The feet can be either stacked or one in front of the other as we come into full side plank. So it's up to you. Keep the left knee down or coming into full side plank. If you're finding full side plank easy, another option would be to lift the hips and lift the right leg up. Focus on the breath, in and out through the nose. Good, and we'll gently come down, look towards the mat. Bring the right hand down, we find plank, so we're really working into the shoulders as well. We're going to roll ourselves shoulders over wrists, and we're going to take a vinyasa. Bring the elbows back, chest stays fairly lifting. Inhale into our upward facing dog, and exhale, we find downward facing dog. We'll just pedal out the heels here for a moment. Big deep breaths through the nose. Good, we'll roll ourselves forward, bring the knees down, and we're just going to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going to turn directions so you can still see me. So we'll bring the left foot right now to the parallel short edge of the mat, bring the right foot slightly out to the side, peel this left hand up. Think about length and really pushing out of the right shoulder. Big deep breaths here. Good, we'll lift this left leg up. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, tap down. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, tap down. Good, last time up. Option to stay here, option to bring the left foot down and transition into full side plank. So pushing more into this right hand, making sure the fingers are spread to protect the wrist. Come into your variation of side plank. The feet might be stacked, one might be on top of the other. Breathing deeply if you're here. If you're not, that's absolutely fine as well. Option to lift the left leg up. Keep the core engaged and the hips lifting up. Breathing. Good, we'll gently bring ourselves to plank and we'll take our vinyasa. Elbows draw back, chest leans forward into our upward facing dog and gently back to downward facing dog. Good. Pedal out the heels here. Big deep breaths. We're going to lift up the right heel, bending into the right leg, and really let the hips sway to the right. Keep the weight even in both hands and feel that releasing the left shoulder and right down into the left oblique. Back to center, draw the right heel down, bend the left leg and lift the left heel up. Swing the hips over to the left. And we'll just flow like this for a moment, really stretching out the side body all the way into the shoulders. Big deep breath through the nose. Good, and then we'll draw the knees down. As we exhale, we'll round into the back. Inhale, we'll arch the back, look up. Good, and then we'll come onto our shins and we're just going to explore seated side crow one more time. So bring ourselves onto our blanket or our folded cushion. This just gives a bit of padding for the tailbone when we lift up the feet. So maybe we can come a bit more fluidly into side crow this time. So we're squeezing the core into the spine, palms are facing forward. We're going to bring the left elbow onto the right knee, engage the core. You might find you stay here, that's fine. Maybe you can lift the heels, maybe walk the toes slightly back towards the body, drawing the shoulders down. Maybe we can balance. So it's kind of like a twisted boat pose, I guess. Squeezing the belly button into the spine. And we need this flexibility and engagement to come into our side crow, as you can see from when I showed you earlier how we set up for side crow. Gently we'll lift up, keep the feet lifted if you can, reach the hands up. And exhale, we'll twist straight over to the left, hook the right elbow onto the left knee. If you can, keep the feet lifted, do. If you can't, bring the feet down and lift them up again. So we're really working into the core here. Should be shaking. That's okay. Keep breathing. One more big inhale. Gently come back to center. If you can, lift the hands up, finding a bit of length. Good. And exhale, bring the feet down. Bring the hands onto the knees. Really good. Lean back onto the knees. Tuck the chin into the chest. Exhale fully here. Inhale, reach the chest forward, open the knees. Exhale, round the back, draw the chin into the chest. Inhale, reaching forward, open the knees. Last time, exhale, rounding back. Good, inhale, reaching forward. And we'll just pop ourselves off the cushion or the pillow, the folded blanket. Keeping the knees out wide, soles of the feet together. We'll come into a forward fold here in butterfly. Have the elbows drawing the knees down. So we're really lengthening the hip flexors here that we work quite hard today. So it's really important when we work with the hip flexors to make sure we spend a bit of time lengthening them out afterwards, because otherwise they will get very tight. So focusing on pushing the knees down in this stretch. And we're really feeling it in the inside of the legs. Focus on the breath here. Good, and gently we'll reach up, back up to sitting. Draw the knees together with the hands. Make sure you've got enough room to roll back. Bring the palms out to the side, elbows slightly hugging in. Draw the chin into the chest, squeezing in the core, rolling so slowly back. Keep the knees hugging in together. Squeeze the belly button into the spine. How slowly can you roll back? Vertebrae by vertebrae, use your core, really, really good. We'll draw the knees in and place one hand over each kneecap. And just let the legs kind of float into the hands and relax here. Big deep breath through the nose. Good, we'll hug the knees into the chest and we'll let both knees fall over to the right and we'll look over the left shoulder. Try to keep the left shoulder blade on the mat if you can. So the knees are stacked over each other. A few deep breaths here. Every exhale, where could you find a little bit more softness? Where could you perhaps surrender deeper into this twist? And really pushing the hips forwards over to the right here as well as we draw the left shoulder down. And we can begin to feel that stretch working a little bit more into the left oblique and the left outer hip. So really kind of stretching out and feeling that. You might even want to kind of, with your right hand, draw the left leg sort of forward and away. And draw the left shoulder down. Really stretching out the side body. Gently coming back to center. Use the right elbow and your core to bring the knees up. Big inhale. Exhale, very gently we'll let the legs travel over to the left and we'll look over the right shoulder. Exhale fully here. Left hand can again find this stretch a little bit deeper. Really drawing the right shoulder down. Focus on the breath in and out through the nose. Where could you soften a bit more here? Softening the face perhaps into the shoulders, the legs. And then pushing out of that left elbow, drawing the knees back to center. Really, really good. We'll come into happy baby to finish. So opening the knees out, soles of the feet facing up, arms on the inside of the legs. We hold onto the ankles or the outside edges of the feet. Keep the tailbone down. We don't want to be lifting the tailbone and curling the back too much. So try and keep the tailbone in connection with the ground, even if that means having the feet higher up and holding onto the shins instead of the feet. So we're keeping the back quite connected there. And we'll draw the feet down over the knees and we can gently rock side to side. Big deep breath through the nose here. Relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders. Good, and then we'll draw the feet together and keeping the soles of the feet together, let them float down to the mat, using the core. Just wiggling the knees up and down gently. Give that lower back a nice little massage. And then we'll lengthen the legs out long. Rolling into the feet, palms are facing up. And you can rest here in your Shavasana for as long as you feel today. Or perhaps you feel called to practice something else. Just listening to your body and what it needs today. If you decide to stay in Shavasana, then really honouring this moment of stillness. And that means releasing any thoughts. It's not a time for daydreaming. It's a time for stillness and presence. And we connect with our breath to help us achieve that. In and out through the nose. Thank you for joining me today.